So the deputy CEO of Standard Bank Group is going to be leaving and is going to be joining ABSA Bank. So that is Kenny Fisher is leaving Standard Bank after 18 years. He's the deputy CEO and was expected to become, or was being groomed to become, the CEO of Standard Bank Group. He's also going to be leaving his executive positions in Standard Bank South Africa and also all its committees. So he's going to be leaving these committees and joining ABSA Bank. And this comes as ABSA Bank CEO Charles Rasson is going to be stepping down, and the start date for Fisher is going to be on the 1st of June 2025. Sorry, 13th of June 2025. That means on Sunday, that is when he resigned. So Fisher stepped down on Sunday, suddenly, and he's going to serve his notice. So we're in March now. So April, May, June, that is 3 months of notice before he becomes the new CEO of ABSA Bank. So most of you may not know the cultures, the difference in culture between Standard Bank and ABSA Bank. So ABSA Bank has got a big bank culture, very big bank, very much traditional bank. And on the other hand, Standard Bank is trying to be an entrepreneurial bank, is the biggest lender in Africa. They are very innovative and they go out and do a lot of different things. Whereas ABSA Bank has got a very traditional culture. So I've been fortunate enough to work for Standard Bank South Africa. When I first came to South Africa, I worked at Standard Bank for, let's say, 6 months. I was a consultant there. And I had a view of the culture in Standard Bank. Very interesting culture. And their office at Simmons had all their people at that time when I was there. Most of their business was in one place, which is at Simmons, almost 10,000 people. I had a hard time finding parking in that place, but it was amazing working at Standard Bank head office in Johannesburg. So I also had an opportunity to do some work at ABSA Bank. And ABSA at that time had many different locations within Johannesburg. So we have an office here, an office there, and their culture, it's reflected in their culture at ABSA Bank. So I also had an opportunity to attend an interview at ABSA Bank. And most of you maybe have not attended an interview at ABSA Bank. So this was a very junior position. I think it was an IT audit manager or something like that. And that was back in 2008. When I arrived at the interview at ABSA Bank, there was a boardroom and there were 20 people inside the interview. Like, I do not lie to you. I had 20 people interviewing me for a position like that. And when I had an opportunity to have an interview at Standard Bank, there were 4 people in the interview. So that was the culture, big bank culture at ABSA, and entrepreneurial culture, and one location for Standard Bank. I think now they have an office at Rosebank, and I don't know what has happened with ABSA if they now have a big location. But I know that there has been a people issue or a people problem at ABSA, with a lot of changes at the top, and also a lot of issues inside of ABSA. Very interesting to see the culture issues at play between the two banks. And if you look at the banks in South Africa, so you look at FNB, you look at ABSA, you look at Standard Bank, then you look at Capitec Bank, and the new banks that are coming. So another Bank Zero, and all these other banks, and now Discovery Bank. The cultures are very different. Some of them are quite South African, but I think very interesting culture at Standard Bank. I do not know what's going to happen when Kenny Fisher arrives at ABSA Bank, because I think they need to work on the people culture there at ABSA to make sure that the bank becomes a bank, a less traditional bank. So I know banking a lot because I think I worked in banking for more than, let's say, 20 years, banking. But the people issues at ABSA, they need to be addressed, starting at the top, starting at how they treat the employees and how they build a one bank culture. Very interesting stuff over there, and one of my favorite topics in business. Right, I want us to quickly look at H Metro newspaper. H Metro newspaper, one of my favorite newspapers. Let's check out what they're saying.